Hey everybody, thanks for joining us. We're going to do a video on how to paint your Nerf gun. So first thing you got to do is what?
Wipe this and wear gloves and to make sure you don't get any more fingerprints on here. Yep.
What are you wiping it with?
Alcohol.
Alcohol, and alcohol evaporates quickly, and that's a good thing to use to take all the little grimy fingerprints off of, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you're wearing gloves so that you don't put any oils back on it after it's clean. I'm going to show you a quick little tip also with storing your paint. Now in the store you'll see they're stored vertically on the shelf. You don't want to do that at home. You want to store them horizontally like you see here. What that does is it allows the paint to be mixed a lot more quickly, a lot more efficiently. Okay, so just a little quick tip. Alright, so we've cleaned it with the alcohol. We got all the little grimy fingerprints and oils from your hands off of there. Now we're going to shoot it with a plastic primer. And what'll that'll accomplish is it'll make the rest of the paint scheme adhere a lot better. Now if you didn't have a plastic primer, then you may have to scuff up with the Scotch-Brite the plastic so that the paint will take. You have to have some kind of method of getting paint to adhere. Now, because this is a plastic primer, this will adhere to the plastic and give a surface for the regular paint to apply to. Now, you can use acrylic, which is water-based paint. You can use enamel, which is oil-based paint. We're going to use just because we have it on hand, this is a lacquer-based paint. It's probably not going to be enough to do the whole thing. Okay, so just to recap a little bit now that I got the mask off. So we did the plastic primer because this is a plastic surface. We did that white. We did 3 coats, right? Mm-hmm. About 15-20 minutes in between each coat. Didn't cover all the neon colors that were on here. That's not what we needed to do. We just needed a surface that we can put the next coat on, our base coat, which is this silver here, to bite. This is going to be our base coat. Then this now, we're not putting any more coats on. It's done. It's painted. We're going to let this dry for 24 hours. Okay? So all the off-gassing will happen before we go to our next step. So, a day later, we got the primer done and the base coat. Shaking the paint is one of the most important parts of the process, as well as having your paint the same temperature as the item you're going to paint. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so here's the phase where we're putting on the male part of the stencil, and the female part of the stencil you don't need transfer tape, but I like to do on the male parts if you're going to use those for painting purposes, which we're going to do. There's several ways you can do it.
No, well, that one you have to be very careful because the middle. Oh, it's cool.
Yeah. Going with our crazy zombie hunter theme. So I think we're done with this side.
Zombie hunter.
We're going to put the Rebel Solutions designs on next. And remember, to get any of these stencils or custom stencils, you can go to the website rebelsolutionsdesigns.com, and you can get all your painting needs, whether it's for Airsoft or Nerf guns, Duracoat, or whatever project you got going on. Okay, so we did the scrape method. We did a little bit of Scotch-Brite, not too much. You can see some of the black came off. We're not gonna go too heavy on that. You could, but you'd have to have more base coats. You'll notice that a couple of spots went down to the original color because the paint is only a day old. So that'll happen. We didn't put it on really heavy because we didn't want to, because we're putting multiple layers. So what we're going to do next is we're going to use a Mylar stencil, and you can get these from Rebel Solutions Designs as well, and these come in real handy. You'll see how this looks once this is applied. If they have too much of the pattern, it's not supposed to be overbearing. So where the parts are that are kind of iffy, we're just going to darken up a little bit so it breaks up the pattern. And certainly any orange we want to get rid of. See, as I go through, get a close-up on that so they can see the technique. So where there's kind of blurry areas, that's where you want to lay down that paint, right? Because you still got plenty of camo, the nice Cryptek pattern, but you don't want too much. Less is more, right? And you can always go back and add, right? So we're gonna flip this over. Wow, that's awful. That gray that we used is a really light gray, but that's okay because we're gonna darken this up. So these spots that look a little iffy, some overspray spots there. You know, a lot of times when you start doing these things, you just want to do more and more and more and more. That's the case as usual. So he wants skulls on there as well. So that's what we're doing. We're just going to throw a few skulls here and there and see if we can pull it off and see what happens. Now the fun part comes. Take off your little vinyl mask and reveal what's underneath.